As soon as you're learning about crotchets and quavers, about sharps and flats, about different note names, A, B, C, about bar lines, rests, about any of that, you're learning about music theory. Music theory just means music understanding. It means learning about the nuts and bolts, about how music works, how to describe it, how to read it, and how to write it down. Learning all that stuff gives you more control over what you're doing and the sounds that you're making. Right from the very beginning of the first sounds that you make, it means you can make music more your own and enjoy it more because you understand what's going on. I think of it as a little bit like an unfamiliar language. So someone could say a poem to you in a new language, and you might be able to learn that just from the sound and repeat it back correctly, but you're limited in how much sense you can make of that. If you learn some of the words in that poem, and maybe some of the words around that poem in the language so that you understand what's going on, you'll get much more out of it. You'll be able to give a better performance. You'll maybe be able to interpret the poem. You might be able to adapt it. You might even be able to make your own brand new poem using the words in that language. So you have more control and understanding over what you're doing. Our individual instrument and voice teachers will teach theory alongside the practical. And we also have classes. So we have a musicianship class where students aged 5 to 7 learn about music theory and understanding through games, through creating their own music, through movement. We also have a set of classes called Theory and Composition for older students up to age 18 to learn more about theory through composition. So they might learn, for example, about chords as an area of theory, use that new area of learning to write a new piece that explores those chords, and then maybe the class will perform that, or maybe they'll work with a professional performer. So for example, last term the class worked with a professional violinist who performed their pieces for solo violin at the end of term concert. So that learning about the chords and then hearing the composition, and then that all connects to their own work on an instrument and their understanding of music as a whole. So I would say the best way to learn music theory is hand in hand with learning practical music right from the very beginning, and a good teacher will help make that a really rewarding experience and help make progress as a musician.